It's too
Well,
risky.
I think we need to play this because last time we did broach the subject of the diagolon and the anti-hate network in this. So I was going to talk to you more about that anti-hate thing because that was a controversy that still never really got good enough, media attention, right? Their propaganda. Basically, one of the reasons why they brought the Emergencies Act into place was because of the propaganda from the anti-hate network. So here's Wiretap Media did a pretty good thread on this. CBC's Tracking Fascist Fight Club, a poorly crafted government propaganda investigation with clever editing, great audio, and sound bites without context. I'll just play a little bit of this video from Jeremy.
Hello, everyone. It is I, odious dirtbag and de facto leader of the Diagolon, Jeremy McKenzie. I was in court all day and I was already dressed, so don't read into this too much. I've come today to address directly Pierre Poilievre, the Conservative Party, and its supporters. While the previous days have been a source of amusement, bewilderment, and confusion for many,
the leader of the opposition wants to talk about extremism. Well, a week ago, he visited a Diagolon encampment.
You have a leader of the opposition who proactively visits and cultivates the support of white nationalist extremist groups.
Who has been identified by Canadian Security and Intelligence as a terrorism organization.
People who have threatened wars on LGBTQ communities.
And he went out of his way to visit and sit down with this organization.
Who have threatened to gang rape female journalists.
With respect, this undermines the seriousness of the peril our nation has found itself in, yet again, due to the bumbling, inept application of malevolent power from the Prime Minister and his Liberal Party.
I think this is the soundbite he's talking about. I think this is an old one that was clipped together to make it seem real bad. The CBC,
I would have thought Mackenzie's court days are done by now, right?
Yeah, this is an old one, because that's all them. Like, notice how they cut it off right before he was basically talking about how he's got nothing to do with the Conservatives, right? And they were making it seem like they did. So I think that what Wiretap is showing is that this was all edited to make it look like. I can skip ahead a bit. I don't want to watch
to
the whole
enact
thing, but
the Emergency Measures Act in February of 2022.
And it's not just a few malcontents or a couple flags. This so-called convoy actually seeded the ground, in my opinion, for the worst display of Nazi and racist propaganda.
Imagine that, eh? How bad that propaganda is there. The convoy laid the ground for the worst Nazi and racist Are you fucking kidding me, dude? It's infuriating. I'm not even going to play more of that and give
I
those.
want to fight that guy right now.
Isn't it? It's literally infuriating. I can't believe more people haven't snapped over all this. So the CBC depicted the SS, the Second Sons, as a shadowy organization operating in secrecy. However, the organization's website can be found with a simple Google search that contains a clear mission statement. Now, I should probably read that. What?
Oh, nothing.
Should we read it?
Yeah.
Oh, the whole thing, or? Yeah, I don't know about the whole thing. Let me
paraphrase it.
Today, as we navigate the complexities of a rapidly changing world, the spirit of those who built this nation calls out to you. Our way of life, the pride of our work, the camaraderie at the local pub, and the shared stories by the campfire and Christmas dinner table are at risk of fading into mere memories. You, the contemporary Canadian man, are at a crossroads. Will you watch passively as our way of life, our values, and our cultural heritage are defiled and erased? Or will you step forward like the heroes of our past, like our grandfathers did, to safeguard and revitalize the essence of what it means to be Canadian? Sounds like a beer commercial, really.
That could be a good beer commercial, like a Molson Canadian commercial or something.
Yeah, somebody should turn that little quote into an AI beer commercial, and it would be fine. We're looking for like-minded men to join our fraternal organization that transcends mere politics or social clubs. And then in our nation, in our communities, and in our families. So, of course, they're not going to make this all overtly racist in here, right? CBC conflates their white supremacy secret society narrative because, like most NGOs, SS protects membership's identity, and for good reason. This is the anti-hate network. claimed that associated members were part of an extremist militia organization that wasn't verified by Canadian intelligence, and they used the CBC to conflate their message. CBC, Rachel Gilmore, Evan Balgord, Bernie Farber, and every other communist continued to call Diagolon a violent extremist militia group by using early RCMP assessments, but failed to acknowledge the RCMP's final conclusion. Does not pose a primitive or national security threat. Not accelerationist, no incident of violence, no incitement of violence, no criminality. I mean, this is a good example, right? Diagolon does not meet dictionary definitions of a group. So interesting stuff that these are from the final thing. They recognize Bernie Farber as an agent provocateur. This is the RCMP, who inflates the truth, alters public perception, and manipulates Canadian law enforcement. Con chair, this is from the RCMP here, is assumed to be an untainted resource of information on what constitutes hate, yet he often makes negative or inflammatory comments about political candidates to the right of the Liberal Party. The fact that Farber has been repeatedly contracted to train police officers across the province about extremism in North America shows how easily Con is able to shape not only public sentiment, but also law enforcement targeting. I almost want to play this, but I also don't, because it's going to infuriate us. This is the guy talking about how they're not biased or politically motivated.
And to your question about the government, well, what do we need to start doing about it? I will say, a lot of these programs that are intended to combat hate or racism, that have quite a lot of money attached to them, they fund a variety of projects, some of which are very good, a lot of which is research, and almost none of which is particularly aggressive. We want to see funding not just go for research, but to fund a movement to counter their movement, right? To fund a movement to...
I'm just looking for this quote here. Okay, I'm not going to play it. I'm just going to read this. Like the CBC, the Canadian Anti-Hate Network claims to be an independent from the government, but both organizations receive funding from the government. And while the CBC claims to be non-biased, the Canadian Anti-Hate Network, where CBC gets most of their evidence from, is an admittedly biased organization. So that's kind of what I was
their
looking
movement,
for.
right? And to your question about the government, movement, right? They have pundits to be building a pro-democracy, an inclusive movement that would protect people in Canada, especially members of equity-deserving groups, from the rise of the far right. And I would call it a pro-democracy movement, right? And the government should be putting money towards that. It's a nonpartisan thing, right? A pro-democracy movement. So I believe movements have to beat movements, and the far right has grown in such strength that we need to stand up a movement to counter it, to fund a movement to counter their movement, aggressive. We want to see funding not just go for research, but
actually, the main thing is, I wish I would have clipped that at the proper point. He claims there's millions of white supremacists lurking in Canada. However, CBC and their counterparts continue to target the same individuals, have moved the needle on controversial topics, exposing conspiracies as truths. Most notably the foreign interference scandal, but now they're unapologetically covering the government's mass immigration policies. They have become targets of another hyperbolic smear campaign by the same players. So, yeah, it's pretty gross. Government affiliate organizations and failed journalists turned influencers continue to propagate a fear campaign that Canadians are facing a white supremacist terror movement. But the only organization that meets CSIS's assessment that constitutes a terrorist organization is the government itself. That's pretty interesting, too. So I don't know. I don't want to get too deep into it.
That's okay. I'm doing some background research here.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to figure out when this won. It's not going to give me a date. Okay. Interesting. So I'm sure someone could fact check this and tell me I'm wrong. Are you done?
Yeah, let's finish that.
All right, I'm gonna see if I can share my email here for a sec.